Hello and welcome to this week's Divination Detectives. It is myself, Gogo, and my lovely co-host Alex. And today we are talking about Dyatlov Pass, which is a quite infamous story from Russia. Before we get into the actual story and what happened, and reading the cards and putting our input on the topic, we do want to point out that we mean no disrespect and that this is, purely meant as entertainment. It was 1959 in the Russian mountains of Ural. 9 Soviet sky hikers went up, never to return. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains a mystery to this day. The way they were found indicates no clear cause of their demise. An official investigation declared 6 of them had succumbed to hypothermia, while 3 of them had blunt force trauma to their heads. We have one victim with skull damage, 2 had severe chest trauma, and another had a small crack in his skull. 4 of the bodies were found lying by running water in a creek, and 3 of the 4 had damaged soft tissue of their head and face. 2 of the bodies had missing eyes, 1 had a missing tongue, and 1 had missing eyebrows. All of their belongings and shoes had been left by the tent that was half ripped apart by the time that a search party had discovered them. Indications show that the tent was cut from inside out. Some of the other interesting things about this finding was that 9 sets of footprints left by the people wearing only socks or single shoe or even barefoot could be followed, leading down to the edge of a nearby wood on the opposite side of the pass, 1.5 kilometers to the northeast. After 500 meters, these tracks were covered in snow. At the forest's edge, under a large Siberian pine, the searchers found the visible remains of a small fire. They were the first 2 bodies, those of Kiranoshko and Dorenoshko, shoeless and dressed only in underwear. The branches on the tree were broken up to 5 meters high, suggesting that one of the hikers climbed up to look for something, perhaps the camp. Between the pine and the camp, the searchers found 3 more corpses: Dyatlov, Kolmogorova, and Slobodin, who died in the poses, suggesting they were attempting to return to the tent. They were found at distances of 300, 480, and 630 meters from the tree. Finding the remaining 4 travelers took more than 2 months. They were finally found on May 4th under 4 meters of snow in a ravine of 75 meters further into the woods from the pine tree. 3 of the 4 were better dressed than the others, and there were signs that some clothing of those that had died had been taken up by those that were still alive. Very creepy. And that's just like
Very.
the basis, like that's a very abbreviated version of everything that's available online. And yeah,
It's interesting because there's like so many different like things happening. Like like the deaths are different reasons.
quite
And
literally.
then some of it seems a little hard to believe that a human could do it. Like what are you ripping someone's tongue out with on the side of a mountain,
True,
you know?
true.
So those are kind of questions coming at to me. It's like, could someone physically do this? I mean, I
That
guess you could. I mean, if you're psycho enough and
yes,
you had a sharp knife. But yeah, very odd all around. Like, and so many people. Like, that's a lot of people to kind of handle. Like, if you were just like one killer, but you're saying there wasn't really much for footprints.
no.
There's only the
Apparently,
bare feet prints from the people.
yes. So it's
So,
like half, like some people had like one boot on, other people had no
mhm.
boots, and basically it was just the 9 people that were there that were found dead that they found footprints of. So there was no other indications that there would be another person there. potentially
Mm.
doing something or killing them or whatever. And I think if there was snow falling, their footprints would be snowed under, as well as any other person that might be involved. But since their footprints were visible in the snow, I don't think that anybody else is in there. So that I
Yeah.
think is a weird thing. Like it doesn't make sense.
And they definitely like it seems like they were startled like while they were sleeping because
Yeah.
of, the way they were dressed and stuff. You're sleeping in your underwear in your sleeping bag.
Yep.
Yeah, very interesting. I don't know. What could we ask about
So
like
one
who
of
it was, I guess.
yeah, I think one of the things that I definitely want to tap into is infrasound, which I know we spoke when we first talked about this story. And infrasound is the frequencies below 20 hertz that can cause sensations of nausea, headaches, blurred vision,
Mhm.
bowel spasms, dizziness, and in some cases, a mental frenzy. And this was one of the suggested theories as to what happened to these people. And I think that's a quite a interesting idea and a possibility. So I kind of want to see first if we
Oh.
have any sort of reaction to that. Like, was it infrasound? Was there some sort of tampering? Was it, military? Because that was another thing. Because it's very hard to believe that natural causes would be the reason for this type of, occurrence. Like the eyes missing, the tongue missing, as you said yourself. Like, who would go and rip out the tongue? Like, especially if it's nine of them, and presumably you're underdressed, you're freezing yourself, your fingers are freezing, which is like one of the first things that you feel, like your extremities start to feel the
Hmm.
cold. How are you gonna grab onto a tongue and rip it out if you cannot feel your fucking fingers? Right?
Yes, yes. So strange. I just feel so baffled by this story. My goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. So
That's why I
asking
picked it.
about if it's yeah, like my brain just feels like mush right now. Like so so you're saying that the possible thing is like this weird frequency kind of like bothers like here's what I'm picturing. It's like I'm sleeping. I start feeling weird because there's like this weird hum coming from the mountain. And
Hmm.
then like it's like we get up and it's like driving us crazy. So we run out. Like, is that kind of what they're saying is a possibility?
I would say so because I think in that scenario, it would be a any number of things like people hurting other people, people hurting themselves, people like seeing things, imagining things. Like imagine it's the middle of the night and you are in this like mental frenzy, crazy out of your mind due to the sound, and you just wanted to stop, or it's making you feel sick or whatever. Then you run out, somebody falls off, and then another person is like getting stabbed or something, or knocked over with a stone because you
Hmm.
see them as like the devil that's come out of the snow because you're hallucinating. So i
Okay.
i think that that's what we're
Okay.
basically looking
Okay.
into, if
So
that's
it's like
the
almost driving them crazy. So it's like a
yeah,
little further than what I was thinking. Okay.
yeah, quite
Um,
literally.
okay.
Because I think in that case, we have the possibility of like them hurting each other, hurting themselves, and just not knowing, like not being in
Mm,
control of their faculties, not being in control of themselves.
okay. So it feels like a no to me for this because, well, I have this card that says no, N-O. And also this Queen of Swords card on this deck, she has her eyes closed and there's these swords kind of in front of her chest. Like she looks very peaceful.
Hmm.
Um, and it's almost like when I asked the question, like, was it this vibration? And she looks like, no, like a vibration's not going to touch her. Like she's just sleeping, like she's just protected. So it feels very clear headed too with the Queen of Swords because you were just touching on like they lost their minds possibly.
Hmm.
And I feel like with her, no, I don't think that's what happened. What
Of
do you
sound
have?
mind. Very interestingly, one of the first cards that I got is confusion with the Seven of Cups, and
Okay.
thing is not being clear. Thing is not being in a sense of clear, in the sense of the actual cause of death might be something that's completely unconsidered, or
Yeah.
considered very little. I don't think that it's this. So it's also a
Mm.
no, because what I got right after the Seven of Cups, which is this sense of I almost feel like there was a multiple choice aspect of where they could go in
Okay.
the actual trajectory of their journey. I think they had if I remember correctly, it was a planned out expedition. And I think that there was possibility of leeway in regards to like what exactly they could take. But it feels like the choice might have been wrong, and they came across something that they weren't supposed to be coming across because they were either drawn to it or because
Hmm.
it seemed like, oh, we might want to explore this just for funsies or whatever, go here or stay here, or they might have needed to go to a different location to set up camp because it just feels like it was almost like a spur of the moment thing and not necessarily the wisest decision. I don't think that it's the infrasound due to the Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords to me is the same what you got with the
Mm.
Queen, clear and sound of mind, clear thoughts, understanding, mental clarity. No. And the Knight of Pentacles, very much that stability, security. Yes, somewhat of an impulse thing, of impulse decision, but definitely very grounded. Like we are still
Mm.
making sure that we are secure, that we are safe, that, there is no danger. And the last that I got is the Queen of Wands in reverse, actually, fire and water in
Okay.
reverse. So again, it just feels like this doesn't go together. Like this is weird. Like how can this happen? I don't think that it's that. I don't think that it's the infrasound.
So if we pull cards on like describing the energy of what it was,
Mm-hmm. We can do
do you
that.
think that would be like our next question? Like, what would be the energy surrounding about what it was? Because
Yeah, what happened? What happened to cause their deaths?
so here's a weird thing. So I got when I asked that, I got the Hermit reversed, and in this card, there's like this mountain. So it makes me feel like somebody like coming out of the mountain, like somebody that was already there, hermiting.
Oh, okay.
This card also is like at nighttime, so it's like they came out at night. I'm still not sure like if this is human or not, but interesting. So I have these other two cards that comes in the way that this is described. There's like this like Ouija board card and a king. So with this Ouija board card, it's kind of like what you were just saying. Like things are not what they seem. What you're looking at is actually like looking in the wrong place. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like even with this king, it's like I don't want to say it's like a human person, but I feel like there's somebody or something that was kind of there already, and yeah, it's almost like they didn't want these people. If you look at the king that way, it's like they were obscuring like who was there or trying to control who was there or just like, yeah, notice that those people didn't belong. Or it's like giving me the vibes of like ambush, like somebody knew they were coming and maybe someone in the group led them there. It almost like gives me like that kind of a vibe. But it's weird because of the lack of footprints, right? So this is the part that like if it's humans,
Mm-hmm.
there's no footprints. So like who was hiding that they could come out and not make any footprints? That's my question. So generally speaking, when I look at these cards, like the energy of it, like again, just to reiterate, it's like seems like a man, but it's not. Somebody that's been there for a while that had, really made like a real thoughtful, intelligent decision to come out and remove these people from this spot because the other cards I was getting is kind of hinting to this area or the place that they are is really valuable to someone or something, or there's something there that's really valuable and it almost feels protective of this thing.
Yeah.
What
Well, we
what
do
do you
have
have?
there is one theory that is somewhat unsupported, native Mansi people that live in the
Okay.
area.
Okay.
But that would then indicate, some sort of human footprint since they are
Yeah.
native
Or
human.
are they like, maybe they know how to disappear their footprint, or they have different kind of shoes on that don't leave footprints, or maybe they like use the trees. Like if they're native to that area, they could have, a little more tricks up their sleeve than just
That's true.
walking around in boots.
That's true. Yeah. I agree
But
with
that's an
that.
interesting angle. But yeah, it felt like like with this hermit, it's like something old.
Hmm.
Um,
Um,
yeah.
Definitely sudden, definitely unexpected. That's the
Hmm.
first thing with the tower. Like this
Okay.
quite literally feels like something either coming down from the earth or coming from the sky. Like it's literally not of this plane, is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. I don't believe that this is somebody that left the mountain. If it is a person or if it is a thing, a creature, an entity, I don't think it left the mountain. It's sort of like bound to the mountain with the devil in
Okay.
reverse. It feels like,
So yeah, that's so that even I'm sorry to just to go back to my hermit reverse, it's that earthy energy, right? Virgo energy, Capricorn energy,
yep,
and upside down. Like that's what it makes me feel like they're in the earth or in the mountain. They like
yeah,
are
quite
already
literally
there.
part of the ecosystem.
Mm.
So not somebody that kind of came with, I guess. I did get a sense that somebody might be involved, same as you, because I have Queen coming up, Queen of Cups this time, and I had the Queen of Wands before, and I have the King of Swords. So it almost feels like there might have been decisions made by the group or people within the group, at least in particular a man and a woman, that were very closely related to self-preservation. And
Hmm.
it almost feels like somebody might have been sacrificed to sustain self-preservation.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know exactly what that means in the sense of them possibly like being taken or being threatened or feeling like they need to sacrifice somebody in order to remain alive, I guess. Because we have the angel Michael and then Hariel from the Heaven and Earth Oracle as well coming through, both angelic figures, which is very interesting. It's like that shadow is being pushed down. And with the flip side, with the shadow side, particularly with Heriel, we have religions or religious and general conflict. So it almost feels like different beliefs, different perspectives. And to me, that would more so support to like somebody that might be native, that holds a different set of beliefs, that holds a different tradition, and a conflict due to that. Yeah.
Because there's also the question of like a Yeti,
Yes.
right? Like, or like a Bigfoot, which, if you think about like the blueprint of that, it's more interdimensional, like, doesn't necessarily mean he's going to leave footprints.
True.
Definitely have the strength to like rip someone's tongue out or eyebrows off.
We would presume
And
so.
then if you think about like these cards I got, like this obscured human, it's like the obscurity, like it's like man light, but it's not man.
Yeah.
It gives me, but then it also, like what you just said about the people, it's almost like, are we gonna like, yeah, like we know the Yeti's hungry, like let's just give them a few of these guys or
Mhm.
something like that. Because I got the Two of Swords reversed, like someone made a decision here. And it came out like with this card, you were just talking about two people and self-preservation. This card literally has like two people in stone.
Mhm.
With this clock, and it's like, what were they preserving? And I got a pearl, like life, valuableness. And it's like they decided to like bring that forward. Yeah, very interesting. When we look at the Yeti angle, because if I was, an ancient people and knew this person existed and knew he was angry or whatever, yeah, I'd be like wanting to save my own ass and like, here, take these tourists or, that kind of
Quite
thing.
literally, yeah.
But yeah, it definitely feels like something that was already there, that was part of the land. And yeah, either they discovered it or yeah, maybe, yeah. But yeah, I feel like someone in the party like had knowledge of it,
Yeah.
but maybe they weren't necessarily responsible, but they could have said like, hey guys, like let's turn back, and they didn't, or
Yeah,
if they
let's
or
avoid
if they
this like
were on the
particular
train.
part.
Yeah, yeah. It's like maybe there's like this sacred area that like is a big no-no, but it's like you let them go there anywhere,
Hmm.
anyways. Yeah,
Do you
it's very
feel like
mysterious.
it could be like a Yeti in the sense of, something interdimensional,
Yeah.
potentially,
Hmm.
or even a human that has lost touch with humanity and has gone very like primal animalistic?
Mm,
Because I just pulled out the pendulum as well, and what I
okay.
got was like a maybe on the Yeti, but I got more of a yes on like a human that's been out there, like living in touch with nature, if you will, outside of like society, and just is very much like an animal in the instincts and just following like what a bear might do or a predator might do.
Mhm. I like that angle. That feels interesting. That feels
Which
right.
could potentially also indicate some form of mental illness as well with the Seven of Cups that I got from before. Something like psychosis or delusions or even a schizophrenic disorder
Hmm.
with the Seven of Cups that I got before, like that sense of hallucinations and potentially like not knowing what's what.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Let's see what I get on that. Oh, that's so funny. I get strength reversed. So, like when strength's reversed, that's when the beast comes out. That's when the
Quite literally,
primal
yeah.
energy, the untapped, the actual anger, the rage, that yeah, the beast in you comes out, the
Yep.
forcefulness. And again, with that eight, we're talking about it's already been there. Like that's where he or it or whatever we want to call that thing, yeah, it feels like they've been there for a while, but yeah, it's like their animalistic instincts. That's a really good, interesting part. And it makes more sense with those first cards I pulled now because the hermit, like just that word hermit.
Yeah.
It's like we don't just have like a quiet little hermit, like, on the side, eating the odd rabbit. This is like, yeah, someone that's gone a little berserk. Maybe, yes, hallucinations, or just even maybe they have figured out how to cross dimensions and all of this, and they're
Yeah.
just only half here.
Quite
But yeah, to
literally,
get that
yeah.
strength card reverse, yeah, I think that kind of strengthens
Mm,
that
I think
that
that's a full on
conspiracy.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a full on yes, that's it. That's on the nose. You're right.
Yeah.
Because I just pulled two more cards just to see what comes up, and I got Ace of Cups and Two of Pentacles, both in reverse, like somebody that's feeling out
Mm,
of touch with the emotion. So I think the aspect of the human, which is the empathy, the sympathy, the connection, all of that,
mm,
is sort of gone out the door
yeah.
and is replaced with these, I would say, overflowing emotions or emotions that project, which is more so rage, which is more so frustration, which is more so this primal survival instinct. And then also just a sense of disbalance, like not feeling stability, not feeling security. So it is almost like an animal that's been pushed into a corner, so it's going to fight back.
Mm,
And it's
yeah.
almost like that territorial aspect that's come to the surface. So I don't know. Do we have a conclusion on this? Like, do
I
we
think
think we got
so.
it?
And I think like the other energy that we were picking up about the people involved, I feel like they maybe heard the stories about it, but didn't quite
Yeah,
believe or just brushed it off. But I do feel like people were aware of something living there.
yeah, because I don't
But
get
yeah, maybe just
anybody.
like, oh, Yetis don't exist or whatever, and
Yeah,
kind of writing it off and then choosing. Because there's like, you got cards about choices, and I did too with the Two of
yeah,
Swords reversed. So yeah, I feel like there was an influence of like why they were in that particular spot, whether intentional or not. But then, yes, I feel like all the other is concluding that I feel like, yeah, there's a psycho, like maybe he thinks he's a Yeti at this point because he's been there so long, surviving and not coming across anyone for a long time. Yeah, I think it got real crazy when he came across that many people.
yeah. And as you said, I believe that it's not intentional in the sense of somebody knowing like this, there is this like psycho killer, or being
Mhm.
or creature or whatever there that's gonna kill us. But as you said, like we might have heard stories or there's been, reports of something going on there and we're still going there anyway. I think I might want to ask one more thing before we conclude
Sure.
if we think we have an answer. I'm quite interested on what you get if we ask whether or not the danger or the thing, the creature that killed in 1959 is still there. Like is
Oh.
still posing a threat to anybody that might come across it.
Hmm. That's odd. I have the Three of Pentacles. So
Hmm.
more earth energy. I don't quite know what to take with the Three of Pentacles because to me, it's like it's a legacy that maybe they've built. In this particular card, there are like there's stone figures in it
Yeah.
and this little fire. So I feel like
Dude.
there could be somebody keeping this alive. Like might not be the same person, but somebody keeping it
Mm,
alive. And maybe it's a different person carrying the torch. I hate to say that, but there's something on this mountain that's valuable. Because I also got this card of like this coin card and those pentacles coming up. It's like,
mhm.
yeah, I feel like the original person on this killer might be gone, but there's like maybe a group. It could be like, shamanistic, Yeti worshiping, whatever this situation is. I feel like it's still going on.
Yeah, it could like I even get a sense of like potentially tribal or like cult-ish or
Okay.
something that
Yeah.
like goes back a long time ago. But I had such a visceral reaction just a moment ago as you were talking, and I apologize for interrupting you.
Okay.
I kid you not. The first card, Ace of Pentacles. Second
Okay.
card, Seven of Pentacles. The
Mhm.
last card, Four of Pentacles, like nothing
Ooh.
else than freaking Pentacles, which Four of
Mhm.
Pentacles in reverse is basically Three of Pentacles in,
Great. Yeah.
right? Right.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
in essence, I just pulled the same card you did,
Yeah.
just with a slightly
Just
different
more
connotation.
pentacles. It's like it's in the land. I
It
don't
quite
think it's ever
literally.
going to go away.
No, there is. I think it's either like literally under the mountain, or there is like a
Mm.
cave system or something, and somebody's in there or something is in there. And I feel like just waiting, patiently waiting, and I get the same sense like new cycles. So maybe somebody new is like in charge of that place now. Somebody new
Yeah.
is protecting it. Somebody new is waiting for danger to get rid of danger, to get rid of any potential risks. I do think that lessons have been learned through this experience, though, because it almost feels like whoever, whatever did affect their deaths or cause their deaths actually attracted more people because then there were people trying to, figure out what happened. And
Uh,
I think that that's almost like the point of we want to avoid that. We don't want that to happen. So the scenario of this, in the sense of somebody died here and that attracted more people, I think is trying to be avoided.
mhm.
But I do think that under the right circumstances, there could be a repetition of a Dyatlov Pass mystery once more if somebody gets too
Agree.
close or gets steps in the wrong place. What?
So yeah, let's not go camping in Russia.
But yeah, that's
But yeah,
a story. I think
yeah.
we
I
got it.
I feel like
Um,
we need to investigate to see if there's newer stories. Like I'm sure there's going to be other accounts out there, so that's going to be my homework. I'm going to go see if I can find any more accounts
yes,
of that
please.
area.
Yeah,
Yeah, because even if somebody didn't die there, there might be other weird things happening there that maybe have been recorded.
yeah,
Yeah.
and even looking into the tribes,
Hmm.
I think they're Mansi, if I remember. Mansi,
Okay.
Mansi people.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, cool. Very cool.
Maybe there's any sort of interactions or legends or stuff around them that could also explain some of it. But I guess
Yeah.
that's pretty much it for this week. Alex, would you like to tell people where they can find us?
Goran and I are tarot oracle card readers, and you can find us Facebook or Instagram at Guiding Tarot or Guiding underscore Tarot and Tarot underscore Shuffle for Goran. We are open for readings. We're open for DMs, questions, anything pertaining to the podcast. We're feel free to ask us. And if you would like us to read for you, we do offer a double reading where we read together. And that is all on our socials as well. So whatever we can do to help, just let us know. And if you guys have any other ideas for the podcast, we'd love to hear it because we are really enjoying this. And yeah, I really can't wait to tackle some more topics. So help us out.